Is that fur coming out of your ears?
Hello, Indian accent. What's going on, cowboys and cowgirls? Isn't that how you speak in America? You know, the farmers and the businessmen with the cows and suitcases and stuff. You don't know? Oh, okay. Fine. Let's get this thing going then, starting right about now. Like all classes in Battlefield 3, the engineer has several unique functions that no other class can fulfill. This is the only class in the game that can repair vehicles. Doing so works the same way as it has in previous class-based Battlefield titles. There's a repair tool, in this case it's a mini blowtorch, that you can use at melee range to improve the health of any vehicle. In addition to this, the engineer is able to unlock the EOD bot, a small remote control robot that can be used to repair vehicles. It's a good choice for use in situations that are too dangerous for the engineer to handle in person. So basically just click 3 if you're using the default key bindings. Basically click 3, use Wall-E and get the job done. That rhymed, by the way. So this thing is also good for trolling if you're into that. In addition, this is the only class that obtains significant anti-vehicle capabilities. Engineers start out with a dead-fire rocket launcher that is effective at medium and short range. It's difficult to use at long range, but if you're skilled enough, you can try to compensate with the projectile drop and by vehicles moving. So you can kind of lead the shot. Sorry for that mumbling. You can lead the shot if you're skilled enough, but it's difficult. However, the class can quickly unlock a guided ground missile launcher and anti-tank mines for additional anti-vehicle capabilities. Wow, a lot of anti-things. At 80,000 engineer score, the final anti-tank weapon is unlocked, and that's the Javelin. Although the engineer provides anti-vehicle capabilities, most will spend a lot of time attacking enemy infantry as well. The class has access to a wide variety of weapons, but in most situations it's a bit of a disadvantage against both the support class and the assault class. New players are particularly likely to be frustrated because the early weapons have unaided sights, and you'll have to play a few matches before you can unlock an upgrade. And that puts you in a significant disadvantage in mid to long range combat. As such, engineers need to be more aware of cover than any other class. You'll want engagements to be at short range and quick, preferably in interior environments, chairs, in a room, within urban areas, so to put it. Even after you've gained upgraded weapons, you're still better off in these situations if you've got the cover on your side.
Go low, you bastard.
One way to gain an early advantage is to use a noob tube, and this is general slang for any weapon that can be used to area of effect explosives. And your rocket launcher is a very good one. It doesn't work at in-your-face ranges, not at close ranges, but at mid-range it's quite deadly, in fact, particularly in enclosed areas. Firing off a rocket at a group of enemies is a good way to rack up points. I don't recommend you wasting your valuable rockets on infantry only. Save a few for the vehicles, will ya?
That would be
When
cool.
using any explosive against infantry, try to aim for the
Why
opponent's
can't
feet.
this guy die?
This will ensure that even if you miss, you should hit the ground beside your enemy, and they'll be harmed
Behind
or
the-
killed
behind the
by the
crane, right
blast.
in front of us.
You can also kill enemies behind cover in this way if you have a height advantage on them. So, one of the most important things,
I'm getting
if
shot
not
from
the
the right.
most
What is it?
important
What is
thing,
it? What is
is to use the environment to your advantage as an engineer.
No.
Destroying vehicles is largely the the responsibility of the engineer. It's a difficult job, but somebody has to do it. Your basic tool of the trade against vehicles is the dumbfire rocket launcher, such as the RPG for the Russians or the small for the Marines. You do eventually receive the javelin, but on most maps the dumbfire launcher is a better choice in almost all situations. That advantage to it is that you don't have to log on, so you can simply pop up or pop out, depending on where you're at on the map. Pop up, fire, and then return to your cover.
Chopper is
Remember,
coming for us.
cover is your friend, always as an
Are you
engineer,
in?
and other classes as well, but mostly to the engineer. Remember the flying vehicles as well, as this gives you the chance to hit the more vulnerable side and rare armor, for example on the tank. A 90-degree angle from the rear will disable the tank in one hit, so if you can spend the few seconds getting behind the tank and getting a 90-degree angle on its rear, firing your rocket, it would be a better choice than just hitting it in the front.
Good job.
So use your
where's
time,
the
don't
turret?
just get too excited and fire the rocket right away. Still,
Yeah,
the javelin is
it's
sometimes
right
the
there.
better choice on the larger maps, such as Conquest large maps, Caspian Border, Operation Firestorm, you name it. Because it's guided, you can fire it from much longer ranges while maintaining accuracy. You'll also be much safer from
That's
return
bad.
fire.
Why did you do that?
On the downside, the javelin is difficult to use at short to medium ranges and can easily, in fact, be fooled by countermeasures. Against helicopters and jets, your weapon of choice will still be the Eggler or the Stinger. This weapon has a log-on time as the javelin, but it's very accurate once locked, although countermeasures do usually fool it. The projectile is fast and powerful enough to take out these vehicles in one or maybe two hits in most cases. Although it has a long range, closer is often better with the Stinger and the Eggler. The quicker the projectiles hits the enemy vehicles, the less time they have to react and use their countermeasures.
Where is it?
Also, try to use the weapons when standing, if
Oh,
you're
there it
at
is.
close range, at least. If
Um,
you're laying down prone,
there was
you'll
a
not be
tank
able to
up
tilt
there.
your view directly above you if they're flying just above you. And that creates a dead zone where you can't log on to an aircraft. It's a blind spot to you. The engineer's main task is a difficult one. It's your job
so.
to take out vehicles. When you become good at it, you'll be a hero to your team. But until then, it can really suck, to be honest.
Oh, that.
Let's review some important points for tank killing. First of all, be unpredictable. It's
chopper
not
is
enough
down.
to
No,
just
it
use
isn't
cover, because a smart tanker will destroy your
up.
cover or flank you.
No.
To be as effective as possible, you need to use cover and move between different pieces of cover quickly, so that
I
the
hit
enemy
one
is
time.
not sure from which direction you'll fire. Learn to avoid cover that only has one entrance
Yeah,
and
but
exit.
there are guys behind the train.
2. Flank your opponent. Vehicles are most vulnerable from the rear and more vulnerable from the sides than the front. Besides the fact that your opponent is less likely to be looking behind
Yeah, I
them,
got one.
you'll be able to do more damage. Battlefield 3 is unique from previous games in that vehicles can now be disabled before they are
Nope.
destroyed. When disabled, a land vehicle can't move, but it can still fire and be repaired. You're not safe until the tank is destroyed completely. Don't forget to use your anti-tank mines. Most maps will have certain sections
Okay.
that are heavily
I'm
traveled,
hiding behind the rock.
and spreading some anti-tank mines in these areas will net
There it
you
is.
easy kills, a few easy kills. Try not to place them in areas that are open, because it will be easier for an opponent to detect them and destroy or avoid them. The engineer is one of my personal favorite classes. Not saying that it's the class that I play the most, but it's the class that I have the most fun with. Of course, when I play competitively, I'm using the assault class, and when I want to rack up a few kills and go on a kill streak, it will also be the assault class. But when it's time to have some fun or to just chill out and relax,
Picking up a
I
bit.
go with the engineer. So the engineer is of course one of
Shoot
my
the chopper.
personal favorite
Shoot the
classes.
chopper.
I enjoy the David versus Goliath aspect
I
of
hit
fighting a heavily armored tank while on foot, with nothing but a rocket launcher for offense. I also like driving vehicles myself, and having a repair tool for
behind
self-repair can
us.
be handy from time to time. Do you have any top tips that you think are important for every engineer? Don't keep quiet.
Almost
Let me know in
gone,
the
it's almost
comments,
gone.
and
I'm dead.
hereby the YKing needs to go.
Yeah, I hit it a lot.
I have important stuff to do, such as raiding some villages and plundering some gold and stuff like that down south. like in the I don't know what they're called. Okay, just deal with it. Bye.